We didn't really start off as a group. We were a compilation tape aimed to sort of bring all the active artists back then together to collaborate. From there, the mixtape kind of grew to become an independent record label. Through the years, Dubai being a transient city, a lot of us left and went back to our home countries until finally it became the three of us. And 2 years ago, we kind of just decided to focus more on being a group and put out some, an official album, official singles and stuff. So the focus shifted to that.
The hip hop scene in Dubai, it's young. I wouldn't say shit, it's growing.
We are the hip hop scene in Dubai.
Pretty much, yeah.
At the moment, yeah.
It's so small that this is it really.
Well, how did I pick up English skills to do this? I'm English, motherfucker. English is my first language.
Everybody speaks English.
Everybody speaks English here. It's everything is English here,
Well, you see, when you put the guy behind the microphone, there is something called engineer. Sound engineer. Sound engineer, he takes the music, he takes the people, he puts them together like this. They call this the layer of the information. And then he makes edit and you learn how to speak the English.
There is the auto-tune.
Auto-tune!
One of the main reasons that we decided to take this a little bit more seriously was 2 years ago we got approached by one of the pioneers of hip-hop who just happened to be in this country. He sent us a message and we met up in Abu Dhabi. And he's sort of been working with us these past few years, developing us as artists. And it was through him that we met a whole bunch of musicians.
And I think the project was a dedication to the old school. So, we listened to the project, listened to the tape, and then we figured this can't be put out without it being cut and blended like a proper mixtape. And who else better to get than an original DJ from back in the day to cut it and blend it. So, we hit up Hurricane. Hurricane was down with it. Super cool guy. Shout out to him for doing an awesome job on that and helping us push this project too.
Shout out to Glenn Toby, Sweetie G.
We get some comparisons to being sounding like artists from the States or New York or whatever. We always take that as a good thing. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter to us. We just do what we do the only way we know how. We're not trying to mimic you. We don't want to be like you. It's just not right. We just do our own thing. If you say we sound like that, and that, I guess in some places that means an acceptance of some kind, that's cool, and that's good.
We grew up listening to hip hop comes from the States. The home of hip hop is New York, so naturally we grew up listening to that kind of music, and it has an influence on us, but we don't necessarily try to sound like anyone but ourselves. Well, we have a bunch of projects in the works. One of the projects is an album. We're not too sure the direction we're going to go with it just yet.
Yeah. At the moment, we're just going into the studio and just making music. What we feel like making on a day, we just do it. We're trying not to limit ourselves to, this is the concept of the album, and so when we go into the studio, everything we make has to fit that concept. We just go in and we just make music, and we know we're going to make an album, but at the moment we're just trying to make as much music and as much content as we can.
We have a few features on this album, but I don't think we're gonna.
It's not.
On that.
Again, it's not like we're like, these features have to go on the album or whatever. We're just making music, We're working with a lot of amazing people.
Plus, we're independent artists. It's
Yeah.
not like we necessarily have access to all the artists we would want access to.
Yeah.
So
Especially being here. You know,
Yeah.
and I think we struggle here also because, you know, reaching out to these artists is easy. It's that anyone can reach out to these artists, it's easy, but then they hear you're from Dubai, and then they're like, you know, hey, put that money up.
I want that Burj Khalifa money.
I want that money. You guys are rich over there, you ship oil and all that kind of stuff, but it's like, nah, man, we don't really have that. But, you know, like referencing what Swerte was just saying in regards to the album and the sound, I think the best thing you can say is we kind of adopted this, like, we don't give a fuck attitude to what we do. We used to be like, you know, we gotta be like this, we gotta be like that. And then the minute we stopped giving a fuck is when the music started becoming better and we were happy with it. And coming into our own, you know, and just doing what we do. And it's the best thing we ever did. The new album is dropping when we're done with it, you know?
You're not gonna give us a date?
Not really. It's coming. It'll come soon. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out. We don't want to put a date on it. We're still tweaking some things. I mean, all I can tell you is that there's a lot of projects coming out. On a typical weekend, I am making music.
Yeah.
live in the studio.
Actually, it's weird, man. I haven't had a weekend in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And we're doing
In fact,
things
yeah.
for a weekend.
We haven't done anything for the past, I guess, more than 2 years now.
Yeah.
2.5 years. So it's been every weekend in the studio. So.
And it's the weekend now when we're recording this thing for the weekend. And we don't have a weekend, so
Shout out to the weekend.
shout out to the weekend.
Not the artist.